This is a video that is a long time in the making. I just want to start off this video by saying thank you for deciding to watch it, but for the foreseeable future, I did promise to do a second route for the last promise 0% growths, but that is no longer something I can foresee myself doing. There are a lot of reasons why. It's not that I don't like this game. No, I adore this game. That has been and will be the case for the foreseeable future. It's just, the original run for this game took me well over 100 hours. And that is not something I'm willing to commit myself to again. Even with the knowledge about the game I have now, the chapter that you see in the background, because I just want to provide some background footage, even with just this chapter took me 3 hours to work out everything for, and I came up with a vastly different strategy than what I intended, because what I'm doing in this background footage looked cooler. There were a lot of chapters in this run that I know that I could do faster. And in a lot of those chapters, the turning difference between my run and the Groats run is my units didn't have stats. And there's no way around that. If my units simply do not have the stats to kill enemies in a route map, or I cannot one-round a boss in a kill boss map on enemy phase that Crash was able to because I don't have the stats, there's no way around that. But then there are maps where, like some Seas maps, where my poor resource management cost me turns, and that hurts me. I do not want to redo this entire run just to correct some mistakes in the first half. And those are just the turn safes I see. There are definitely more out there, especially because I'm very bad at like actual movement puzzles and LTCs. This was my first run. This run is my baby. It is not good. There were a lot of turns I lost, and I can guarantee that, simply because I did not know how to do the LTC tricks that are in actual other GBA LTCs that are done by people that are more talented, like you would see in Toffee's or Low-Res's runs. For the record, I'm not asking either of them to do this game in 0%. You would need Toffee's standards for reliability to save sorry, a few turns over me. At least as far as I can see. But I'm not asking him to do this. If he does this, that'd be really funny. I would love that. But he does not have to. And please do not go harass him into doing it. This game in 0% is fundamentally about experience management in the early game for Sean, to a lesser extent Shuda, and Tekun, and weapon experience management in the mid-game for units like Levion, Howard. I think I made a mistake with Howard. I think I should have gone for S-rank lances, for the record. But units with Levion, Howard, Leopold, Kellic even, Tekun, Ben, and Karina especially. Ben barely hit the lance rank that he needed for Chapter 20, and I do not want to have to go back and reroute his entire lance rank grind. A lot of me not wanting to redo the run is, I guess you could say, laziness, but there's also things like, you get the boots in Chapter 13, and I'd have to play backwards in every chapter of the game, trying to figure out who the best boots user is, but if it's Liam, if saving them for Howard or Levion is worth it, if using them on Anakin is worth it, and just having to deal with rigging low % dodges in some maps. Dodges that fall behind my threshold for reliability. There are some things in this run, like the killing the final boss on this map, that you'll see in a little bit, where obviously it's not that reliable, but it was the only way through it, and I was willing to accept odds that unreliable when that was necessary. But if I was just rigging a 1% crit on a boss, or rigging a 94% dodge on Anakin to save a turn, that's not something I'm personally willing to do. Call it laziness, call it stubbornness. It just means that there were things that I were not going to do. I also did not have access to the task tools, so every low % crit you see rigged in this run, every low % dodge you see miss in this run, every round of combat where a unit dodges a hit that's above a 50% hit that they needed to. That was all found by hand. And I still don't know how to use those task tools. So I'm not going to try and shave turns by making things like that happen more. Now, there's also the huge thing of resource management. You get a lot of stat boosters in this game, you get a lot of money in this game. You want to buy a lot of stat boosters in the end because it's 0% growths. You also need to buy a lot of weapons like killer bows, killing edges. You need to be able to work out things that Shadow can do what he does here, if you're using Shadow to kill this boss, which you probably would, which is exactly live a hit. You need to work out all of the resources to do stuff like that, or rig him cracking silencer and a dodge. Why? You need to do a lot of things like that. And yes, there were also some mistakes in my end by simply not knowing how the game worked well enough, because I had done one blind run that got stopped at Gallagher. And those mistakes were like not knowing that effective weaponry is 3x effective, like Armor Slayer and Hammer. That would have saved me a lot of headache. Things like that. That would definitely help. If anybody decides to make the mistake to do this game in 0%, now that my original goal is done, which was proving that this game can be done on 0%, if anybody wants to try to do this game and shave turns, let me know. I'm willing to provide all of my input notes, all of my movie files, all of my save files, for every single chapter. I'm willing to help come up with strategies, I'm willing to help comment on strategies, I'm willing to help you with money management if you need. To some extent, because I'm going to be very busy in my own personal life. It's not something I could do alone. I would also be willing to help co-commentate things, like how Keb and XS are doing their Engage run. I cannot do something like a version 2 of this alone. I would need the help of somebody significantly more skilled at the game, and it would feel like a run that they did, and I'm taking the glory for, and that would not feel right. That, on top of the factors I already mentioned, are why I'm not going to personally do a version 2. If another person wants to do this game, go right ahead. Please let me know. I will help you in any way I can. And mainly, I just want to see it happen. This run is my baby, but it's not perfect. I would be delighted to see its turn count be pushed lower. I love this game. And I want to see it broken. If this game's turn 4 drops in 0% by even just 5 turns beyond just the simple movement tricks, if stats benchmarks are made up for with clever tricks, I'd be incredibly impressed. I fully understand if nobody wants to commit themselves to doing it, though. This run took me significantly longer than the Order of the Crimson Arm run did. I did the Order of the Crimson Arm run in about a week and a half. Whereas this was... it took a year. If anybody wants to undergo all of that, they have my utmost respect. I will help them as much as I can. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. If you even just need a 0% ROM and you want to get started on this, God, why? Just ask and I can send you it on Discord or something. Just provide me your Discord in the comments. There's not much else I can say. So, thank you for watching, and I have a video series actually planned out for this game still, not 0%. That'll be coming out in the near future. I don't know exactly when, so I'm not gonna make any promises. But it might feature some guests, so keep an eye out for that, and thank you for watching, and I will leave you with the last action of my 0% run. If somebody does make a version 2 of a TLP 0% run, I hope that they at least get Lime to S-Bows, even if he's not the main carry, just for something like this. It would make me incredibly happy. watching, and I'll see you whenever I post again.